There it is. Come into my shop. Spend some time with me. We're gonna butcher a guitar body. Yep, no, not really butcher it. Got this unknown. Let's see. It passed inspected by whatever that means on there. But that's the only official information anywhere on here that tells me what this thing is. It looks like some sort of, I don't know. It could be a Squire. It could be a Ibanez. It could be a Fernandez. It could be a whatever. It could be a PD. It has somewhat of a fendery neck. I kind of think it was a short scale because of where original bridge lineup was under all this tape, because I've got it marked out for a 34 scale neck. I was going to put a Squire neck on it. That neck turned out to be not very decent. It kind of fit in here, and I still was going to have to clean this up and try to make this other neck fit, or a fendery neck. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't want to do that. Here's the neck I'm going to put on it. It's very much a Fender style neck. It is a 34 scale. You know, it was an Austin, and it's not terrible. It's definitely playable. I gotta either get a nut or cut one for it, but that's not a biggie. Can make that happen. So what I gotta do besides clean this neck up and fix a few bad spots on the fingerboard where it's marked. Oh, what I gotta do is put the neck physically on. Ooh, almost killed myself with that one. Yeah, I need to physically get the neck on there so you can see where. You can see that light spot there. That is where the fender body that this was on would have probably gone up to for whatever reason. So this is definitely, shaped differently now. But since I've been carving away with the file, and I just went in there with the Dremel and cleaned it up a little bit more, there. Very, very decent pocket to work with now. So I can start working on putting this back together. It's not rocket science, and this is by no means going to be a perfect instrument. What I need to do, let's see, side scratch my head. I need a good Phillips screwdriver to do this. We'll see what's going to happen. Well, it's not a, it's an OLP neck plate. So I'm not attached to that in any way because I no longer use the 4-bolt system on my OLPs. Some of them have it still on there, but the 2 fretless spaces that I have, typically the ones I'm going to play, if I play one of the OLPs, is, I don't know if I'll put that on there just yet because it's not clean. I converted them to 6-bolt because I found that by having bolts here and further back into the neck, even if it's only 4 of them, like the Ibanez Roadstars have a long neck plate, and on a 5-string especially, if you have a nice tight joint with that, especially with it drawn that far apart, it's a much more solid neck joint than a standard Fender 4-bolt. So with a Music Man style 6-bolt position, it's spread out further lengthwise, and with yet an extra 2 in the middle. So you get that 6-bolt in the Music Man world. So Music Man world is just a step above that Roadstar neck plate, and it's definitely a solid. When you get 6 bolts, it's solid, but it's dangerous to do if you're doing it by hand and trying to eyeball it. So you can make bad mistakes. Before I put this neck on there, I want to get some of this grunge off of it. And just noticed there was some grunge on the back of it. I must have somehow missed. I thought I cleaned this neck the other day, but maybe not. When your simple green doesn't want to squirt, you have to turn it off and squirt it like you're trying to squirt it until you see it going up the thing, and then you go turn it back on, spray, and magically it will start spraying again. I don't know why, but that's what these damn things do. Way too much experience with it because of the damn detail shops. I worked too many detail shops, too many shitty squirt bottles. Spent half my day trying to get the cleaner to come out of the bottle onto the car. Come out of the bottle and onto the car. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Nothing. Sometimes it's the same thing with simple green. But yeah, you just turn it off so you can't squirt nothing. Squirt it like you're trying to squirt. That'll build back pressure, and then when you flip it on spray, magically it'll start spraying. Sometimes it just won't spray because it don't want to spray on Tuesday. Who knows? Man, there was a lot of grunge on this guitar. I'm gonna put some more of this on the. Yeah, and if I wait a half an hour, that loses its pressure and dumps all that between the chamber all the way back down to the bottom. And yeah, it'll be gone. Won't have any pressure. I'd start all over again. Okay, what am I doing? Cleaning this, edging up on this here too. I also want to make sure I clean up all the bad mojo off of this thing. It's gonna go to somebody for a niece or nephew or daughter or something to go to, and it was one of those no hurry things. Try to get it done, and I've had it for at least a year and maybe more. But I didn't have a neck that fit it just right, that was tolerable and worth it. Shit, till I got this one. This one been through some shit. I don't even have a smooth neck joint here. Alright, clean that up a little. Now I'm comfortable putting that on there. I can clean the fingerboard up later after it's all together. There we go. So, the unknown body, the unnamed headstock. What did I say it was? I can't remember. Not important enough to remember. Didn't say Alvarez or something like that. What did it say? Advantage? Started with an A. No.
The eye siren is on its way. Make sure that everything's under control.
Not roughly confused.
See what he does.
Ah. I wonder if any of these holes fit where they're supposed to. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to re-drill those holes because they don't line up. I was hoping I'd get lucky and they'd line up, but they don't. So yeah, fuck. I have to find the pilot bit. So yeah. So since I got drill in the hole, I'm gonna use that to tap my bite mark in. Go down here. Tap a bite mark in. Go down here. Tap a bite mark in. And down here. Tap a bite mark in. There. So, this is when I'm going to grab my drilly drill here. Here. And I want to pilot that so I got something to bite into from the other side. Alrighty. So, this is just a pilot hole. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, that's just a relief. Now, what I gotta do is take a quick break, and I'll turn the camera around and flash a light over here or something so I can take a look. I gotta find a small amount of dowel rod. Some of it might be behind me here. Hopefully. No, that's thicker. Okay. Here's where I can take you on a trip with me in a circle. There we are. Oh, yeah, that you can see. So I'm just going back here. See if I can find a little tiny piece of dowel rod in my dowel rod selection, which is kind of sad. I don't have a whole lot over here right now. I'm gonna have to maybe take a look over here, see if I put it over here.
She got us here. What are you getting at? I was wondering if you consider bringing her back on as practice. Maybe we're both past that. I think she could use some structure. So could you. She's not ready. I'm curious.
What we're going to do.
What makes someone ready? You just know.
Alright. Now I do have to find a tiny piece of dowel rod. Just to plug that hole. Alrighty. I have to go back here in the darkness.
That's up to me. I can't train if Ahsoka doesn't want to teach me.
Well, embarrassingly enough, I do not seem to have Dalrod. But I know that's not true. There's got to be Dalrod out here. I was going to have to look in another spot. There we are. Looking back at the table again.
Mark the map yourself. Would Ahsoka come here?
It might very well be
Very
down
likely.
in here. Some
Is that part of
Dalrod.
the plan?
Take a look.
We should go to She doesn't know.
Hmm.
She wasn't even thinking about it.
It's very odd that I can't find a simple thing like a piece of Dalrod. Probably because it's like literally right in front of me. Dumbass.
I never had the talent, the abilities. I like Ezra. Thanks.
That might not exactly have it. Just the tiniest piece is all I need.
I don't miss any more of the time.
Anything down there? Yeah, nothing down there. All right. Have no fear. There's still another place to look.
Welcome to the control center. From here you keep track of the entire inventory being created from
Seems to me there's just some tiny bits.
profits generated from
And if we don't find little bits and pieces of Dalrod, oh, right here. I knew I'd find something.
Well, our board and primary investors have pushed for building
1, 2,
and distribution.
Is that a hypergen?
3.
Yes. Refurbished from an SSD ready for its new life serving the Republic. This facility has been designed to use the model.
The New Republic Defense Fleet is building it out there. What class of starship are they for?
Alright, we can make this happen.
Oh, there it is.
Classified.
Alright. So it becomes a step-by-step process here. I have to go choose a drill that's that size.
C1, can you come over here, please? Perhaps you can help with the protocol here.
What other types of droids do you have in operation?
Standard protocol types, as well as CCLs, item 37s and 57s, and other load lifters. Why do you ask?
More HK class.
Assassin droids. I should go.
Not even repurposed, you know, the same schedule.
I have seen such a droid. I had to go infantry on arrival transports. An HK-class droid recently prevented me from completing this task.
When was this?
5 rotations ago.
What do you know report?
The droid carried a high-level security clearance. I could not object.
Where is this droid now?
I believe it is departed on that transport.
Stop that shit.
I can't do that, General. They make me the departure.
I said stop that shit. That's an order.
See, people always wonder, what's it take so long? You know, sometimes you don't realize you don't have all your supplies that you had 3 or 4 years ago because you've been doing guitar repair for so many people. You freaking run out of everything. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just like shows the Shows the progression of a shop. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually boring out these holes. So that I can fill them with these little guys right here. So that did that. So the reason I'm filling these holes is so that
Bridgeport CT05 is the General Sandula.
you see what I had to do when I had to drill new holes. I want fresh wood glued into there before I, you know, try to put another screw in right next to it, because there's no way that it will, without filling that hole, it's so close to each other. By the time I put the drill through, it's just going to cause the neck to crack and all kinds of stuff down there in a very sensitive area where it needs to be stable. So I'm using some these little mini bits of dowel rod, and that will, and this paper to shave it down just small enough where I can pound it down in there. Or once I know that it's going to go down in there, then I can put a little bit of glue on the tip of it and then smack it down in there as far as it goes. I should have handled this. I don't go too much bigger on the.
Don't miss this time. Great. Now hurry up. They're gonna make the jump into hyperspace as soon as they clear the atmosphere.
Alrighty. Still a bit tight. Oh, it just occurred to me where all my spare dowel rod went. When I was working at the music store, and I had a supply of stuff I always needed down there, so I wouldn't have to keep coming back home and getting it. So I basically had a basket of stuff I carried with me back and forth every day. And I think eventually that basket got left there under the counter. And I bet you all my bits of dowel rod left with that store when it closed down. It's gonna be time to go stock up on some more of this kind of stuff here soon. Yeah, okay, so that was almost too small. But I think some of this glue, and it's nasty, but it will do the trick. Just need to get it on the tip of that. A little bit of it in there. That one in there. We'll do the same thing here.
Not that it's gonna be worse. Not worse. Chopper, what's the update on that cat computer? Keep working on it. I'm talking about something more exciting.
This is boring, isn't it? Oh, man. What a boring project to have to do. Okay. I suppose if I have to, I'll hit it with a hammer. Alright.
Check this out.
Well, we're out of power. Alright, so let's steal one of y'all. 18 volt 4AH. I don't know what that means. For is that because it's not going to run out of battery power and I'll get the project done and I can go what's that for? It's for some people say wow factor. On here we have factor. When is he gonna be done with my guitar? Oh, a couple years. Great. The kid graduated from Berkeley. They gave him a guitar. He doesn't need it now. He needed it 2 years ago, you jerk. I know. I know. Don't have an unlimited budgeting supply to be able to just buy parts willy-nilly and have them on hand. So sometimes I have to sacrifice and take the time it takes to make the thing. And sometimes the parts don't materialize themselves in a timely fashion. Like I had a neck and a body that I thought I was going to have a guitar to make work. And then, in the process of putting the project together, it didn't go well. I discovered some problems in the neck, which caused me to not really be able to use that neck because I found that I just really couldn't trust that neck. So that neck has to have some work done on it to make it usable again, and it'll be on some other project. Now I have to think. I need a chop saw here. There. One of these little Japanese saws, because I want to be able to, I could take this over to the bandsaw, but there's a good chance I would lose one of those pieces and I'd have to look for it. And I just kind of want to use this little Japanese saw and carve what's left of this off there and save them, because I've got 3 out of 4. I need to save one of these for that 4th hole. That's pretty good right there. What I want to do though is I want to get a little chunk of glue. There's some crazy Disney stuff going on in the background because I got my TV going back there, but I don't know what it is if you don't know what it is. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. I probably will. It's not super recognizable. I just don't feel like running over there to turn it off because I don't know, too lazy. I don't wanna. Almost cut my fingers off doing that. Half jam.
Destroy King here from Corrales.
The new Republic shipyard?
Nothing else but that factory. Anyone check on it?
Welcome to the control center. We're here to keep track of the entire inventory being created.
Alrighty. I'm gonna pick these pieces up. The long one fell, but I want to get it off the ground here.
Obviously not. Thanks. Transport CT-05, stand down and return to port immediately. We got a tracking device on that transport.
When something round falls on the floor, you may never see it. Never again, no more.
Walked away from him. Just like I
Would it be the part you need? Yes, it would. It would indeed be the part that you still need. Where the hell did that part go? Might I never see it no more? This is why things take forever. But sometimes Tom's not that damn clever. He drops things and loses them. There's nothing to rhyme with that. This channel should be called I'm Not As Cool as Adam Savage. Alright.
Well, it's been a while. I see you still in most of it. Enough to get by. Yeah, let's try something. I like that. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Your skill with the weapon comes from your Mandalorian equipment.
Oh,
Skills alone will not be enough.
something like that. It would be the one I need. It was long enough to finish the job correctly.
Learning to wield the force takes a deeper level.
There has to be that part.
How?
That's something you'll have to discover.
Well, I discovered that according to Hu Yang, I'm the worst candidate to be a Jedi out of every Jedi he's ever known.
Who told you that?
Doesn't matter. I think it does.
Here. Take this home. Richard.
I can't see. How am I supposed to
Yeah.
slide?
Can't believe I lost it like that.
Okay. Now what?
Please stay. Seems
Oh, it is down here somewhere though. I know it is. I will find it. I had to.
Very funny. Not if I can see.
Ready position. Following the voice. Sensing the intention.
There. Now I've got all of them. And it actually wasn't the one I was just looking for, that I thought was the one I was looking for, actually was the skinny one that I didn't want to use. I did cut a hole in my thumb though. Damn. Not very nice to me sometimes. Oh boy. So my bench right now is not set up to be a quote unquote guitar bench. It's kind of a, fuck around with stuff bench. I make signs on this bench primarily. It's for making signs, to be truthful. But it's also a perfect size for doing a guitar on. I literally have a pad to put under the guitar. I use the leather side to keep from scuffing the guitar, and I keep that clean. And then the neck, rests on this little fancy dancy, some sort of a yoga block. It had a Nike symbol on it right there. It was square. I used my sander to channel it on one side. Used the bandsaw to cut that shape into it, and that allows that neck to sit in there, and no matter where the guitar is, you have your neck kind of something to hug it to keep it from smacking back and forth and making all kinds of scrapey noises all over your desk and everything. Made a handful of these. So anyway, when the whole thing's together, I can, sit on the bench and work on all kinds of stuff. Flip it over, put the tuning keys on it, which I have to dig around, and that's what I have to find yet to make this complete. So that's another step in the process. I might have to cannibalize one of my own guitars to find the tuning keys to make this thing happen. I hate having to do that, but it sometimes is a necessity. So, what am I doing next? Letting that sit because I just did the glue. I need to drill the hole, this one right here. And that requires me to put the machine together. Like so. So this is a process that always sucks, but they use the existing hole as a target.
Long live the empire. Doesn't sound like the kind of royalty.
So I can go all the way to the edge of that without going through, because I just measured it.
And that his allies are working on a way plan.
Public resources to aid in what has ultimately been your personal plan. That could be put to a more practical purpose.
All right. So now I'm going to pop this neck off of here. Now I've got my pilot hole drilled in there. Using the body as a guide, as a drill gauge. Most of the time it works pretty okay. For this project, I'm not getting that retentive about the details. I just want it to slap together and be able to play it in tune, even if it's a little crooked and funky.
Make your point.
The guy gave me the body and said, if you can make this neck fit, if not, see if you can find something else.
I know because I thought of it.
That's what I did. Took a little time to find the other parts, the neck mainly. So now I need to take this one screw here. Make sure I have all four of them before I get too far ahead of myself here. I need to go find the shaft size to drill for that.
You don't know that.
General, Tara, allow me a moment to speak with my colleagues.
Of course. Chancellor. Senators.
That went well.
Mom, is it true Answine is gonna be a Jedi?
Where Where did you hear that?
Chopper told me. I want to be a Jedi.
You did well today. Then again, you were always a fast learner. Well, like you said, what I think I can handle it. The rest of it, that's a struggle.
Always has been.
It takes time. I was thinking if the urgency of our situation could expedite my training a bit. I don't feel it. All I feel. Force resides in all living things. That's
All right.
Alan's is about.
I'm gonna do that again, but this time with a tiny bit larger bit. So you saw me do the pilot holes before I plugged the old holes. So I'll give you a quick look at that. This is looking pretty darn clean. You can see where I plugged it, and I just slid them over to fit this new situation here. And I'll probably have to pull it off of there and put a shim in the neck pocket inside of there. Usually you have to shim anything fendery, but that doesn't have to happen today. I just want to get the neck on there now that it fits the pocket, kinda. You get up close, you'll see all kinds of fucked up stuff on this. It's just not 100%, but there's a reason why the bridge is not mounted on there right now, because wherever the bridge gets mounted, it's getting mounted wherever this neck tells me the bridge is supposed to be mounted. So not necessarily in the full 4 holes that are on there right now.
Oh, what you said.
Alright, so I gotta kind of do the same thing I just did. Gauge about how deep to go. Same thing. Alrighty. Now, pull the sawdust out of there. I don't have any canned air, or I'd be using it. And I don't have a little compressor up here, or I'd be using that. But it's done. And I did it so carefully that I didn't get any of it in my eyes. I only cut my thumb and my other finger a little bit. You know, all in all, not a terrible day in the shop. I still have all 10 fingers
You win this round?
and most everything else. Maybe a little wounded pride. A lot of wasted time on camera because now it's 15 minutes. Oh my God, are you kidding me? All right, hopefully I can do the rest of this without breaking the hour mark. Stupid, you know, watch me fuck with this guitar for an hour. What a terrible page, Tom. Not as cool as Adam Savage. Definitely not as cool as Dave's World of Fun Stuff. Nope, Tom's just not that cool. Just like the ding I just put in the back of this thing. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about this thing, really. And this is freshly drilled hole on this neck, so I didn't go all the way.
side of the bladder. However, there also seems to be a second pocket, something much larger.
Scottish Bolt.
Negative. Whatever it is has a signature which is unknown.
Very hesitant to go with a drill gun to do this for the first time because I think it would go so fast that it would cause the wood to expand, and split. Whereas this is less stressful. This is slower, less stressful to the wood, very much more stressful to me because I increase my chances of slipping with the screwdriver and putting a nick in it somewhere. That's bad enough. I've already got a couple of nicks that shouldn't even be here, but yeah, we have the whole boring ass black shit to deal with here. So 2 more of these to pile it in. And then I can get a gun to go and do them more efficiently. Just the first time in has to kind of be like this, and I know that looks terrible to watch me have to do that in this angle, but it's only a screwdriver, okay? Unless you're sick and twisted, which most of you probably are. If you're actually watching me do this, you're probably twisted as fuck. If you're watching this channel, you're twisted probably. Somehow, there's something wrong with you. I want to watch this. Oh, one of these days, I'll learn how to fast forward stuff so it doesn't have to take forever. 'Cause I know it's painful. I wouldn't watch this. I would unsubscribe from this channel right now. It should be called Tom Does Not Know What He's Doing. Kit Basher. Who the hell is Kit Basher? This is totally in the spirit of the channel, by the way, because I literally take things that don't belong together and smash them together with super glue and bolts and nuts, and something else happens with it. Like, I'm literally looking in front of me like right here, see the old Easy Tote? Well, once that gets primered and changed around a little bit, that's gonna be the entryway to my new 3 3/4 inch action figure cantina, where my action figures can get drunk and mingle and listen to the band and yeah, do action figure stuff. Yeah, that's seriously gonna be a thing, and that's gonna be on my kit bashing channel, because that's what that's about. Taking something that was something and turning it into something else and reinventing it in some way, which is a form of art. It is the whole point of creating art, is to reinvent something in a new way. And in the world of kit bashing, it could be taking like a blender housing, tearing it all apart and using the shell of it for something else, re-envisioning it. It's real easy when you change scale. So, you know, right now this is not anywhere close to like, well, if I was 3.5 inches tall, then this would be somewhere around like 8 to 10 foot tall right now, give or take. Just kind of throwing a number out there. So when you transform the scale, it becomes something else. You see less of a screwdriver, like, you know, this thing would have had screwdrivers and wrenches and that kind of stuff down those little holes in it, and the rest of it somehow holding tools and stuff in another way. But I'm transforming its scale and making little people live inside of that thus making it an environment of its own. Because it's fun. It's fun to fuck around with stuff like that. And that's what I do on one day off. And then another day off, I might not even be looking at that. I'm gonna be doing something like this. Okay, this is all in there really good.
Destroyed.
Almost there. There's sounds that you get used to hearing when you're putting. I put a few bases together, where it was a neck that didn't necessarily, in what its intention wasn't originally to be on a particular body. Mostly aftermarket bodies and Fender Squier necks. They don't really fit together out of the box because they weren't there. It's kit bashing. These two things don't go together until they come see Tom, and we kit bash it. My entire bass collection is consisting of some sort of kit bashing. I have one Ibanez Roadstar 2 5-string bass that is not an example of kit bashing. It's actually its original neck, its original pickups, its original body, its original state of being as a fretted instrument. I have one that looks like it, but it's a year earlier, a 1985, instead of an 86. And someone plugged one of the 5-string holes and turned it back into a 4-string and put a badass bass bridge on it. And it sounds amazing as a 4-string, and I've been using it as my half-step down bass, but it's been bashed and slapped around and told not to be a 5-string anymore. One of these days, I'm gonna unbash it and turn it back into a 5-string. But I don't know how I'm gonna go about that. I think I'm gonna get an Ibanez 4-string bass and take the bridge off of it and then re-drill it to put the 5-string bridge on. Take that neck and put it on that, and then it'll be back to being, you will never have known that it wasn't supposed to be that. And then I'll take the 4-string neck and I'll put it on the butchered body, because when they put the bass bridge on, they had to route into the body to countersink it, which ruined that body for ever going back to what it was. So I'm going to leave it that way with the badass bridge and put a 4-string neck on it, an actual 4-string neck on it. And then it'll be that. There we go. I think I got that on there pretty good. So here we have pretty nice looking bass guitar. You kind of have to imagine it with strings on it right now at this point, because I guess next couple days I'll spend some time on it, maybe tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll probably clean this table off and mount the bridge on it and try to find some tuning pegs for it somehow, which might end up it might mean cannibalizing something that's under the bed. There's a couple 4-string basses under there. I could just steal the tuning keys off from one of them. I'll be doing that for it. There. So anyway, you can see the bass is now sitting on that leather and resting on this little bugger right here. And that's it. We're done. See you next time. Signing out. Goodbye. Go away. Stop looking at me. Go. Goodbye. Bye bye.